In this video, I want to talk about toxins and how they can affect your health and what you can do about it. You know, autoimmune disease it's at an all-time high in the United States. 75% of American adults over the age of 40 will be diagnosed with at least one chronic disease. 1 in 3 people born after the year 2000 will have diabetes in their lifetime. 1 out of 2 children will be on the autism spectrum by the year 2032 if we continue at this rate. Cancer rate in children have gone up 67% since the year 1950. So what's going on? What's different now than it was 40, 50 years ago? Well, it's our environment. It's the toxins that we're exposed to on a daily basis that accumulate in our system and cause dysfunction and disease. So where are these toxins coming from? Well, they're all over. From our industrial parks, our public water systems. Our foods are massively sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. Plastics, mold, personal care products, cosmetics, amalgam fillings, mold, vaccines, flu shots. The toxins are everywhere. And this is what's causing the problem and the epidemic today with all these chronic conditions that are developing. So how do these toxins affect our health? Well, in order to understand that, we have to look at the cell, the basic structure of the body. Now, this is a picture of a cell right here, and surrounding the cell we have this cell membrane. The cell membrane is made of fat. It's a lipid bilayer. And the important thing to remember about this is toxins are attracted to fat. You need to remember that. Okay? So, on the membrane, you have these receptors right here. There's hundreds of receptors on the cell membrane. And they're like antennae that catch chemical information from other parts of the body. Let me give you an example. Let's say it's thyroid hormone, T3, the active hormone. What it's going to do is going to attach to that receptor, pass through the membrane, and the cell's going to do its job. You're going to have good energy, you're going to burn fat easily, you're not tired, no brain fog, everything's good. Let's say it's insulin. It's going to attach to the receptor, pull through the membrane, the cell's going to do its job. It's going to draw sugar in, glucose, you'll have good sugar metabolism. If it's leptin, it's going to pass through the membrane. It's going to tell your body you're not hungry anymore and you're full, so you don't overeat. If it's an immune system chemical, it's going to attach to the receptor through the membrane. It's going to fight off disease well. Your resistance will be high. What if it's a sex hormone like testosterone or estrogen? You see what I'm trying to say here? Very important. So the cell membrane communicates with the whole body. Very important. Through these receptors. Now, let's say we're toxic, and trust me, most of us are. You can't avoid it. What happens is, remember I said the toxins are attracted to fat. That cell membrane's made of fat. So what's going to happen? The toxins are going to get into the cell membrane. It's going to inflame that membrane, and now it's going to blunt or block those receptors. Now the good things can't get in. And also the bad things are not going to get out. We'll talk about that later. So let's try it again. Here comes your thyroid hormone. It's going to attach to the receptor, but since the membrane's inflamed and it's blunted, that thyroid hormone is not going to get into the cell like it should. You're going to start to develop hypothyroid symptoms. You're going to feel cold all the time. You're going to gain weight easily. You're going to get brain fog. You're tired all the time. What if it's insulin? Well, it's not going to get into the cell, so it's not going to pull glucose in the cell. The glucose will build up in your bloodstream. You get type 2 diabetes, weight loss resistance. What if it's leptin? Can't get in. You're going to feel hungry all the time. Immune system chemical. What's going to happen? Your resistance is going to go down. You're not going to be able to fight off infection, get the colds, the flu. You're fatigued all the time. Okay? So you understand, this is what happens. This is the epidemic. This is why you can't lose weight. This is why you have weight loss resistance. or thyroid issues, or hormonal imbalances, or brain fog, or fatigue, joint pain, muscle pain. The list goes on and on. This is the problem. This is what needs to be fixed. Okay? I wanted to talk a little bit more about, now the bad stuff's not going to get out through that membrane because it's inflamed, called cellular inflammation. So what's going to happen is the bad stuff can't get out. The byproducts of metabolism is going to start to affect your ATP factories. It's going to start destroying your ATP factories from all the inflammation and toxicity. The cell has to work extra hard to make energy and help the proper function of the cell. Very scary. It's going to start to affect your DNA. It's going to cleave off double strands of DNA called an adduct, which can turn on bad genes and cause a disorder that you're genetically predisposed to. That's really scary. So you don't want to have this inflammation and toxicity in your cell or in your cell membrane. So what do we have to do? How do we test accurately to assess if you have this cellular inflammation and toxicity overload? Well, we have 3 tests. The first one's called a meta-oxy test. It's 50 times more accurate than a blood test, and it's going to give us valuable information about the condition of your cell membranes. Because you remember I told you toxins are attracted to fat. And when you have that inflammation, the toxins get in that membrane, it's going to start to break down the fat. And this is what we're measuring on the meta-oxy test. It's malondialdehyde, which is a fat that has broken down. It tells us you have serious damage to the membrane. Okay? So if you took the test and your urine turned dark pink, it was more of a darker pink color, that's a positive sign that you have cellular inflammation and a certain level of toxicity. Okay, if you didn't take this test, I urge you to get it done. Okay, the other test is called the VCS test. It uses your vision to assess toxicity and inflammation of your brain through the optic nerve, because the optic nerve is surrounded by a lot of fat. Your brain is made of fat, so it attracts a lot of toxins. It's called neurotoxicity. The last test is called the neurotoxicity questionnaire. It's just a questionnaire that you fill out, and it tells if you have symptoms related and correlated with toxicity and inflammation. So if these tests was $1,000, it'd be worth every penny of it, because it's getting to the root cause of your problem, the cellular inflammation problem, systemic inflammation and toxicity. So if you want to get these tests run, or you've had them done, we're only asking $10 because I want to help as many people as I can. Okay? Also, we have a program called True Cellular Detox, TCD, which is designed and fixes all these problems. It heals the cell membrane, restores ATP to your energy factories, protects your DNA, decreases the cellular inflammation, and it gets rid of your toxic burden. We get to the root source of your toxicity, where it's coming from. Got to get to that. So if this makes sense to you, please let us know if you want to get tested, or if you have been tested and you want to know more about the program. Just let us know, and we'll give you all the information that you need to get the program done. It's very simple to do. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for listening.